We'll be starting from part 3 through 6. The sin of pride is usually one of the most destructive and worst sins on the 7 deadly sins, and Dio is one of the best villains to embody the sense of pride. But in case you don't know what pride is, this is an inflated sense of self-importance and excessive focus on oneself. But the most prideful people on earth don't really give a shit about anyone else but themselves. Like their sense of loving humans' lives is like out the window, bro. On some Conquest and Invincible stuff. Back to Dio. His origin story and how he got to being the most prideful villain on this list. Dio came from a poverty-stricken neighborhood and he literally got hungry for power. So he can get powerful and stuff and he can defend himself and get respected and get out of his little shithole that he was living in. He was literally living in the trenches. But once he got out the trenches, when he met Jonathan Joestar, he was given the opportunity to live among the wealthy. But he felt insignificant against Jonathan, and Dio thought Jonathan was looking down on him. Dio got really insecure that he felt less than Jonathan, and Dio went out of his way to kiss Jonathan's girlfriend, Irena. As a reminder, pride is one of the most destructive and worst sins ever, and it usually is an inflated self of self-importance, and Dio has embodied this ego of self-importance throughout the whole entire series of Jojo. And Dio wastes no time manipulating other people to do his bidding. In case you want a good example of Dio literally mind-controlling people and using them as slaves so he can kill the Joestar family, look at the entirety of part 3 and look at all those parasitic bugs that he implanted into all their foreheads. Dio is literally a parasite, and Hirohiko Araki will literally tell you that Dio's true nature is to literally infiltrate the Joestar family and take everything that he can to take it over. Dio lacks any sort of empathy, bro. If you could describe Dio in less than 10 words, this mother trucker enjoys being the most powerful stand in his organization in the world. Dio isn't just pride, he literally embodies all the other 7 deadly sins. We'll talk about those sins later, but Dio's lust for power is just like Yoshikage Kira, the antagonist of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Part 4. Yoshikage Kira wants to lead a nice and peaceful life, but he has a weird habit of killing women and eating sandwiches with their dead hands. Lust is the inappropriate behavior of extreme sexual desire. Yoshikage Kira's lust has a bit of a secret to it, a big secret. Let me give you a hand. Yoshikage Kira has a bit of a hand fetish, and he discovered his arousal for women's hands when he saw the Mona Lisa painting, leading to the death of several women in Morio. But the crazy part is about this secret Yoshikage Kira, he'll only leave the woman's head alive and not the rest of her body. Like, Yoshikage Kira doesn't care about what they look like, what they talk about, but he'll keep the dead hand and pretend that that hand is the actual woman. But besides the physical aspect of Yoshikage Kira's lust, Yoshikage Kira has a lust to keep up a facade. He acts as a businessman in his day life and does anything and everything in his power to blow shit up without a trace. Remember, lust is an intense and uncontrollable desire for sexual gratification or just straight up gratification. There is another secret about Yoshikage Kira when he killed this side character named Shigechi. The story of Shigechi all starts when Yoshikage Kira is enjoying his sandwich date with the severed hand. Shigechi noticed that there was a dead hand inside of his bag when he accidentally swapped his real sandwich bag with Yoshikage Kira's bag. Shigechi ends up finding out that Yoshikage killed the murderer, and he goes to tell Josuke because they were looking for a murderer too. But Yoshikage catches Shigechi, and Shigechi touches a doorknob that ends up blowing up, and Yoshikage detonating it, killing Shigechi. All while Kira preaches for keeping his identity a secret. Yoshikage Kira does possess a twisted pride in having to mix his quiet life and his serial killings for so freaking long. I mean, this guy is pushing like 40 or something. His lust for keeping his routine of being a business salaryman and serial killer on the side gets amplified in the later part of the half when he ends up becoming a whole new man. Under the Cinderella stand, he gets a whole new face and a whole new identity. Because Yoshikage Kira just has to lead his nice and peaceful life. But this peaceful life was flipped upside down when Yoshikage did transform his whole identity into Kosaku Kawajiri. His hand fetish lust intensified when he was forced to live a normal life as a husband and father. Because when he pretended to be Kosaku Kawajiri, Yoshikage Kira starts obsessing about his true self to the woman he encounters. Because during his day job as Kawajiri, he got a little turned on when he saw one of the co-workers doing her hair. He saw her hands and kind of got a little blush, you know what I mean? Kira's lust also got the best of him when he blew up the girlfriend's boyfriend. I forgot her name. But eventually, Kawajiri, aka Kira, blew her up, leaving only her hand. But this continued until the son of the original Kawajiri group eventually caught on that his dad wasn't really his dad, leading to the Jojo crew to kill Yoshikage Kira. Yoshikage Kira died to getting his head smushed like a watermelon by an ambulance, all because he couldn't control his insatiable lust. His main lust being his sexual hand fetish for women and his personal lust for wanting to lead a quiet, peaceful life blending into the shadows. But in case you're jealous of Yoshikage Kira being a nice and quiet life, don't forget to drop the subscribe and like button for me, because this next 7 deadly sins goes to the envious Diavolo, Jojo's Bizarre Adventure Part 5 main antagonist. Envy is being jealous and resenting towards another's good fortune, success, or other personal possessions. You might have several friends who be envious from time to time. Take Diavolo for example. Diavolo is the alter ego of Doppio, and he represents the leader of the Passion gang in Italy. Giorno, the main character of Part 5, his whole goal is to become a gang star and to become the leader of Passione. I'm not going to cover the full story of Diavolo, that could be another video. But Diavolo believes that fate is on his side. But when fate chose Giorno, Diavolo grew envious of Giorno. Because Giorno was chosen as the fated one with the arrow, with the sand arrow, Giorno's sand got an upgrade, and rightfully so. Diavolo was shocked because he could see into the future and he saw that he was going to grab the sand arrow. This led to a really big power disparity because Gold Experience Requiem is the most broken sand ability in all of anime. And King Crimson's ability, Diavolo's sand, couldn't really keep up or even match with Golden Experience Requiem. And to make matters worse, Golden Experience Requiem put him in an endless death cycle that has no end. Legend has it, Diavolo is still dying while Gennaro is living his best life, ruling over Passione. Diavolo is the best contender for envy at the end of Part 5 because it's a pretty big contrast how he's stuck in a literally infinite death dimension while Gennaro is outside. Every time he dies, he's just jealous of Giorno living his best life. Each of these 3 villains all share gluttony. They all want power for more. In case you don't want to lose your life and get instant karma like this, be sure to check out the times where ISO Speed got instant karma.